She filed under the pseudonym Jane Doe, but in this scathing denial, Sharpe's legal team calls her out by name. We won't repeat it, but they're dubbing the suit a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars.
A woman can say yes to consensual sexual relations with a man 99 times. But when she says no even once, that no means no. It does look like a shakedown to me, and that's difficult for me to say as someone who does not appreciate this man whatsoever. They sat down together almost a year ago. Shannon Sharpe on one side of the microphone, Katt Williams on the other. Sharpe had always brought out the biggest names in Hollywood to his podcast. Big names like John Cena and Young Miami, Steve Harvey and Terry Crews, Usher and Tyrese Gibson. But that episode was different. It changed everything. For the first time, someone from within the industry spoke their mind. Katt had real things to say. He said Shannon's show changed the game. He agreed it was huge, but warned there was a price to pay. He spelled it out to Sharpe. No sugarcoating, no fake flattery. The words hit like lightning. No one saw it coming. It felt real. Then, Shannon Sharpe was in big trouble, just like Katt had predicted.
Bald again. These are some power people.
These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. Do you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is? Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. But I'm not scared of being the competition. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team. They have all the assets and resources and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't. All of these shortcut takers, they canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my in front of all my people at my agency. I told him no, what y'all do? And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down. Behind my back, I'm nothing. I'm just a regular old comedian, but in my face, no, no, no. The king has walked in and they have to respect it only because I'm not taking the shortcuts. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. Anytime you see them telling you something you can't believe, just understand it's a play. And it don't matter, you gonna know it's a play as soon as they get in that position and think they's gonna tell somebody something. No, you're not. No, you're not. Marvel will cancel you you won't be allowed to read a comic book. What is you talking about? Get out of here. Get out of here, ugly boy. Yeah, they love fooling the people. And is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. The truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with. Katt Williams had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we're talking about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we're talking about comedy, right, where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves
So Shannon Sharpe is being accused of sexual assault and rape. There is a young woman. She is now in her early 20s, but she says that she met Shannon Sharpe when she was 19 years old in a gym in Los Angeles back in 2023. And she says that because of what she experienced, and she says that she alleges that the was brutal, like it was very it was aggressive. She wants $50 million in exchange. So this was filed late Sunday in Nevada by attorney Tony Busby. Now, this woman is alleging that Shannon Sharpe her multiple times over the course of a 2-year relationship. The relationship that they had was sexual and parts of it were consensual, but she says during their relationship, because he was physically stronger, a lot older than her, like 30 some years older than her, and just, more powerful, he began to get really aggressive. But at this point, she was already in it. She says that he was manipulative. He would threaten to choke her and slap her. She's also said that at some point she was being recorded without her consent, and that she later found out and alleges that the videos were shown to people.
Get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go, come on, Cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not gonna act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth of the matter. So I stayed away from that.
Sharpe rode a wave. most only dream of. He left the NFL having dominated the sport and stepped into a TV studio on one of the biggest platforms imaginable. He learned how to talk. Then he built his own throne. Shannon Sharpe went from Hall of Fame tight end to the hottest host on TV. After teaming up with Skip Bayless on Undisputed, he realized he had something bigger in him, his own space to speak his mind. That became Club Shay Shay, and suddenly everyone wanted in. None would skip his couch.
But Shannon Sharpe, in case you don't know who he is, he played 14 seasons in the NFL with the Denver Broncos, the Baltimore Ravens. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2011. After he retired, he spent time as a sports commentator and analyst. You might remember that he co-hosted Skip and Shannon Undisputed with Skip Bayless from 2016 to 2023. Bayless and his then employer, by the way, Fox Sports, they faced their own accusations of sexual misconduct in a separate filing from earlier this year. We covered it here on Sidebar as well. Now, Sharpe is part of the sports podcast space. He hosts two shows, Club Shay Shay and Nightcap. In fact, you remember his interview with comedian Katt Williams in January 2024 on Club Shay Shay? That helped spark, I should say, a renewed interest in Sean Diddy Combs and his alleged bad behavior at his infamous parties. Got a lot of people talking.
Tight end Shannon Sharpe ensured that his football legacy will always be remembered when he went from the 192nd player taken in the 1990 draft to one of the most prolific receiving tight ends in NFL history.
Elway's going to let it again go to the end zone. Sharpe, touchdown!
Sharpe spent the first 10 years.
We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots. If you leave now, you get a head start on traffic. Hey, it's going to be one of them days.
Sharpe was named first-team All-Pro 4 times during his first 10 seasons in Denver. He was also an integral part of both of the Broncos' Super Bowl championships.
Anything less than being here and being up on this platform was unacceptable. Yeah, I'm a dog. Y'all a big dog, a big one. Don't worry about what I call myself. It's what I answer to. How impressed were you with the Giants? Is that what you asked?
That's what I asked you, yes.
I was very, very impressed with their defense. I told you, there's nothing like a plan that when you map out a strategy and it comes together. I told you what Dak was going to do. I told you this, Skip. I also told you, if I tell you grass will turn to cheese, start hustling crackers.
Okay, good morning, guys.
Oh, Tom Brady stopped by last night. What?
You picked the Patriots to win easily last night. You picked Aaron Rodgers to win easily at the Chargers, and your man LeBron James stunk it up at San Antonio. Stunk it up. Went 0 for 6 from 3 and 5 of 10 from the free throw line, and really stunk it up in the fourth quarter last night.
Did we win? Yes or no? Let me help.
What are we doing?
Well, last night, Tom.
What is the point?
Okay, well, let me. I'm gonna tell you the point. Tom wanted to come in last night, so I had fresh ales, but I had them Oscar style. Yeah, the thing was good. He said, "Give me all you got, Shay." Oh, Shay.
I'm so embarrassed for my brother. He's one of the top chefs in America. He's a 2-time James Beard Award winner and owns the restaurant in Chicago where Obama says it's his favorite. And I got to deal with Chef Shay on my show.
Yeah, I'm a beard.
Chef Shay.
I'm a 3-time beard winner.
Oh, really?
James Hard beard
you
winner.
shaved your beard.
A 20-year-old woman says she met him at
the concept. After many months of manipulating and controlling plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharpe refused to accept the answer no and raped plaintiff, despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no. According to the complaint, Jane Doe worked out at this same gym as Shannon Sharpe in Los Angeles, and she was 19 at the time. This is what she claims. And she claims that he had been watching her during her workouts and finally introduced himself, insisting that she give him her number.
She alleges the relationship lasted over 2
again, more than
years
30
and
years
involved
junior.
multiple instances of rape. Though parts of the relationship were consensual, she says Sharpe became increasingly aggressive, threatening to choke and slap her. She says he was physically stronger, 30-plus years older, and more powerful, and by the time things turned, she was already in it. She also alleges that she was secretly recorded during sexual encounters, and later found out those recordings were shown to others. The lawsuit was filed late Sunday in Nevada by attorney Tony Busby. the plaintiff is seeking $50 million in damages for emotional distress, punitive costs, and more. Tony Busby is known for his flamboyant legal filings, and this one is no exception. It begins, "A woman can say yes to consensual sexual relations with a man 99 times, but when she says no even once, that no means no."
Control and intimidation now became something far more dangerous and sinister. Sharpe even figured out how to get into Doe's apartment complex general without special punitive statutory penalties. Talk to us about what those mean and whether or not those would be appropriate in a situation like this.
Yeah, so the general damages are going to be her emotional distress damages. So what's the general impact to her now and kind of for the years to come as a result of going through this? If this happened, and I want to underscore, we don't know if this happened, but if this happened, $10 million does not seem to me like an excessive amount of emotional distress damages. I mean, this is something that would stay with somebody
Defendant
for the
Shannon
rest of their life
Sharpe,
and
a
be
man accustomed to
significant
getting what he
struggle at various
wants,
points in their
completely
life.
Sharpe
fails to
responded
understand
instantly
this
and
basic
directly,
concept.
calling it a shakedown.
After
He
months of
responded with a
manipulating
video
and controlling
in which he said he'd be open,
a woman more than 30 years his junior, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharpe refused to accept the answer,
plain.
no.
If you've got 10 minutes of footage, he challenged, release the whole thing. I don't have it. If I did, I'd show it myself. Sharpe called the lawsuit fraudulent and threatened to sue for defamation. He denied every charge and insisted the truth would come out. He posted videos of explicit text to prove consent. He said he offered $10 million before
In
she
the
sued.
13-page complaint obtained by ET, she also claims he threatened to kill her, beat her up, and recorded their sexual encounters without her consent. The alleged victim admits to being more than 30 years younger than the 56-year-old star and says she met him at an LA gym in 2023 when she was just 20. She filed under the pseudonym Jane Doe, but in this scathing denial, Sharpe's legal team calls her out by name. We won't repeat it, but they're dubbing the suit a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. And they released a series of explicit text messages that they say prove this was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, sexual language, and fantasy scenarios.
Lanny J. Davis released a statement characterizing the civil suit as, quote, a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. Sharpe has released copies of the text messages to his social media. Due to their very explicit nature, my producers were kind enough to censor specific words, okay? So let's get into it. Davis claims the litigation has been orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby. Now, I'm going to read some of it, and the quote is the quote. One quote says, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're me. There's another one. Now, that one was October 7, 2023. Here's another one, more recent. Quote, I know you miss this big, juicy, $25,000 for each cheek.
The most important, and I was surprised when I first heard this. I thought Lanny Davis misspoke. Fairly early in the conference call, he mentioned that Shannon Sharpe, during efforts to settle the case before the lawsuit was filed, offered tens of millions of dollars to the plaintiff. And he used that phrase several times, tens of millions of dollars. And I, along with other people who were on the call, asked questions. The way it worked was you typed your question in. You didn't actually verbally express the question. So you type the question, you send it, and you wait for them to answer it. Multiple people who were on that call asked the question of, is it tens of millions or is it 10 million? What's the number specifically? So eventually, after saying tens of millions several times, Lanny Davis said that Shannon Sharpe offered at least $10 million to settle the case. Now, I practiced law for 18 years. I was stunned by that.
He also handled suits against Deshaun Watson. He said there was a videotape key to the case, but he kept it locked away. He said evidence stays in court. He said he had no reason to release it now. People waited for that tape. They wanted to see proof of either side. Through it all those lines from Katt echoed. They felt like a warning. They felt like a prophecy. Katt said it so casually, yet it landed so hard. He didn't mean murder. He meant career death. He meant reputation destroyed. He meant everything can change in a heartbeat.
I have to say, to go after Shannon Sharpe, if you're Tony Busby, after what just happened with Jay-Z. Remember, he filed that lawsuit on behalf of a Jane Doe, a woman who claimed that she was 13 years old back in 2000 and was sexually assaulted by Jay-Z. That lawsuit was dropped. And it came after serious questions of her story and credibility surfaced, both by reporting by NBC News and evidence that was presented by Jay-Z's side. Jay-Z ended up suing this woman, suing Tony Busby as well. So now to go after Shannon Sharpe, another high-profile figure, does that tell you that he feels he has the evidence in this case?
Well, Mr. Busby is a pretty bold mover in this space. I mean, he seems to not be, shy about his decision making. So it could mean that he's got the goods in this particular case, or it could just be, kind of par for the course. And this is how he, handles his high-profile cases.
4 o'clock, the high-profile attorney suing Texan star Deshaun Watson says he is now representing 12 women. Tony Busby has filed 7 lawsuits accusing the Texans star quarterback of sexual assault or misconduct. A warning: details from the lawsuits are graphic. Adam Bennett is live in downtown Houston, where Busby just spoke to reporters for the first time since filing those cases. All right, Adam, Busby saying he plans to file.
All 7 lawsuits filed so far are from women who work in wellness or massage services. They all accuse Watson of exposing himself and inappropriate touching during a session.
And Tony Busby said that him and his client, they have an actual tape. They have footage of him, meaning Shannon Sharpe, and the Jane Doe in this situation. And that situation, according to Jane Doe, depicts what she is suing Shannon Sharpe for. So she's saying in this particular tape, everything she's accusing Shannon Sharpe of, it will be proven with said videotape. Now listen, guys, I personally am not interested in seeing this video. And Shannon Sharpe, when he came out and said that Jane Doe and her lawyer was trying to shake him down for money, he told them to release the video. But Tony Busby recently came out and said, I'm not releasing the video. It's our evidence.
Within days, Sharpe stunned fans again. He announced he would temporarily step away from ESPN, his gig on First Take, his biggest platform, while he fought the lawsuit. Now that Sharpe has stepped away from ESPN, he plans to clear his name and return. But as the lawsuit unfolds, the same man who once sat atop the sports media world faces his toughest matchup yet. I am electing to step aside, he said, to focus on my family and respond to these false and disruptive allegations. He aimed to return by the NFL preseason. Stephen A. Smith, his co-host on First Take, took to social media to defend him.
Football Hall of Famer and broadcaster Shannon Sharpe says he's stepping aside from his job at ESPN in light of new allegations. On Sunday, a woman filed a $50 million civil lawsuit in the state of Nevada. It accuses the 54-year-old of raping her multiple times. The claim says the pair was in a, quote, rocky consensual relationship for nearly 2 years, and Sharpe was allegedly frequently aggressive, and she says her. Sharpe says he needs time away from ESPN to be with his family and fight the, quote, false allegations.
That was fast, is what I would say. Very, very fast, Mr. Shannon Sharpe. He is officially out at ESPN. We said yesterday that this was likely to happen because with these sorts of contracts, millions and millions of dollars, they can and usually do include a morality clause, meaning like, don't be caught at a strip club smacking booty cheeks that are $25,000 per cheek.
Oh, boy! Yeah! They don't make drinks like that anymore.
And he wasn't at a strip club, but his text messages have been revealed, and it's quite embarrassing for ESPN. So he used to be on First Take, and now they are
guilty of what he has been accused of? Absolutely not. That is my personal opinion. The brother that I've come to know, I don't believe would assault anybody. And I'm going to state that emphatically. But just as emphatically, I'm going to remind everybody it is my opinion because of what I feel about him. Not in any way implying that I know a damn thing beyond that, because I don't know. I've seen the text messages released by his lawyer, who, by the way, I don't think has been impressive in this at all, because some of the information that was let out to the public, I have no idea why a lawyer would advise such a thing, but that's a different subject for another day. And we're allowed to deduce from an opinion perspective what we believe and what we don't, so long as we concede that we have no way of knowing definitively what the truth is. What I can speak about is the fact that this 3-time Super Bowl champion and this Hall of Famer, who emphatically stated to me over the phone how innocent he is of these allegations that have been levied against him, insisting repeatedly that anything you read, anything you see, anything you hear was consensual.
Every day brought more headlines. Every day someone found a new clip, a joke he made years ago, a comment he dropped in passing. People dug through his past. They wanted to prove him guilty, or at least tarnish his image. They wanted to see the empire crumble. People started to dig. They found old clips. One showed Shannon talking about his daughter's wedding. He said he gave them $30,000 to spend. He joked about serving spaghetti. Fans saw that. Then they saw the $10 million offer. They felt something was off. They mocked him for it. They called him out on social media.
With, what do you call it? With password protected. How often? All the time. Okay, but let's just say he's picking the music. I didn't hear any music playing in the background.
No music.
Okay, all right, so there's no music. So here's a step process. Let's go through. Okay. To accidentally press live.
IG live.
Okay, Tom, I want you to see this here, Tom. Okay? All right, first, I got to go up. Then I got to go lower. Okay? Then after I look, I have to find my Instagram app, and it has to press perfectly on Instagram.
Yes.
Then I go on Instagram app. Then I have to swipe left Okay? Look how perfect I have to be. Then here, I have to press live. Then when I press live, I have to press live.
And then ask you, are you sure
you're
going to
go
go
live?
live?
Right? So if it's like a 7-step, come on, bro.
Come on, man.
I get it. He pulled off a Kim Kardashian, and he's trending.
Before we start anything, I just wanted to ask you real quick, all right? And this is what the people want to know.
Lord have mercy.
Did you set that video up? Did you set that up? Did you set
The thing is, Dion, what I don't get, people like, well, you did that for clout. So you really tell me I'm willing to risk my good name, my reputation.
Thank you.
I work for Disney.
Yeah.
Disney. Risk that, my reputation, embarrass my family, and all the potential monetary ramifications that comes along with it. For what? No matter what people say about Kamala Harris, VP, people are going to believe it. So why should I spend any time trying to defend what I already know to be true?
Yeah, it is. That's
so
what's up, man.
That's why I'm on that.
Good for you, bro.